Hello, my name is Gordon Christian, and I'm an elder here at First Reformed Church. And for devotions today, I wanted to share with you one of the main reasons that we're asking you to prioritize devotions in your daily lives. You may have noticed recently that Pastor Dan is focusing his sermons on some of the basic and just foundational points of our Christian faith, and that really is no accident, but it's because Pastor Dan and the other leaders here realize that it's very important that we know what we believe and that we are continually growing in our faith and relationship with God. So what I wanted to do today is to use an analogy or a situation that might be easily understood in human relationships and use that to help us see something that is also true in our relationships to God. And so you may know that Renee and I have two daughters that are in their 20s now, and that means that soon they'll be old enough to begin dating. So I want you to imagine a conversation between myself and a young man that might be asking permission to date one of our daughters. And I'm going to present several different thoughts or answers that they might give to questions that I would have for them. And then you can decide if you think that these are proper answers for someone who's interested in a meaningful relationship. You don't have to stop the video each time. You can just, if you're watching this with someone else, you can just maybe give them a thumbs up or thumbs down based on what you think about any of these answers. So I've got 5 of these, and for the first one, just imagine that the young man comes up and says, "Hey, Mr. Christian, I'd like to begin dating your daughter." So he starts off pretty good, and so what I might, of course, say, "Well, which daughter are you talking about?" And what if he would say, "Well, it really doesn't matter. Aren't all girls just the same anyway?" So do you think that would be a thumbs up or a thumbs down answer? For the second one, say perhaps they're interested in Abby, and so I would say to them, "Well, what do you like about Abby?" And what if they would say, "Well, I really don't know her all that well, but my parents seem to like her a lot, and my grandparents can't stop talking about her." Do you think that would be a thumbs up or a thumbs down answer? Or what if I would say, "What do you like about Catherine?" And if they said, "I heard that Catherine is really friendly, and I think that she could help me be a lot more popular at school." Would that be a good answer, giving that one a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Or how about if I would ask them or say something like, "So you met Abby at school. Are you interested in being a teacher too?" And what if they were to answer, "Abby wants to be a teacher? I didn't know that about her." Or maybe they would answer this way, "I really don't see Abby as a teacher. I see her more as an Olympic swimmer. I think we need a lot more of those these days." What about either of those answers? Are those thumbs up or thumbs down? Or if they would say, if I would say to them, "Tell me what you have in common with Catherine." And what if they said, "I really don't know. I'm not too sure what Catherine likes or doesn't like, but I think that's all right." Is that a good answer, do you think? Or finally, what if I said, concerning Abby, I said, "So do you enjoy exploring and being outside like Abby does?" And what if they were to answer, "No, I really don't like those things, but I think I can change that about Abby, or at least ignore that part about her." Do you think that would be a thumbs up or a thumbs down answer? Well, hopefully you were able to see that none of these answers would really get a thumbs up from anyone's parents. And I also hope that you can see that none of these ideas would be helpful or lead to a meaningful relationship with anyone, including God. So if our desire is to love God, as the Bible tells us, and that means with our heart, with all our soul, and with all our mind, then we really need to know who God is. We need to know what God likes and what God doesn't like. And we need to believe to be true that which God tells us is true in His Word. And so obviously that means we need to know what His Word says. And so in closing, I wanted to just suggest a couple resources that anyone can use to learn more about what we believe as part of the Reformed Church in America. Of course, the Bible is really our only source of faith and practice, and hopefully that makes sense to you. But there are several other resources that we all can use that are out there that just simply and clearly explain the truths of Scripture. And we call these things creeds and confessions. The RCA, or the Reformed Church in America, has 3 creeds and 4 confessions, and any of these can be really easily used for a daily devotion. So you can, in a very short time, read through any one of the creeds, and as you're doing that, you might find that, hey, you recognize some of the words that are in there. The confessions are longer documents, but they're all broken down into very short segments, and you could look at 1 or 2 of those in maybe just 5 minutes in a devotion with yourself or with your family. And each of these deal with an important truth about God that comes right out of the Bible. And so all of these can be a wonderful source for you to use, and I encourage you to access these. They're all available on the RCA website, which is really simple. It's rca.org. You go to the resource tab and look under creeds or confessions. And if you have any questions about that, just please let me know. Don't be scared or put off by the word creed or confession or even catechism. Those are just kind of words that we use to describe them as teaching documents. Try to think of these more as windows through which you can easily see beautiful things about someone we love and we want to know better. And obviously that is God. So if you have any questions about any of this, about resources to use for devotions for you and your family that will help you focus on the basics and the fundamentals of our faith, hopefully you've seen that that's kind of important for us, and without those things, without that knowledge, you really don't have a lot to stand on in terms of a meaningful and deep relationship. So please don't hesitate to ask me. I'd love to help you with that. So thanks a lot, and have a great night.